T-O-T-D-I-S. T-O-T-D-I-S.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2510 with a release date of Friday, December 5th, 2025, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Scientists announce a new finding about what triggers auroras. Restrictions are imposed on Germany's short-range UHF radios, and Australia's redesigned weather website stirs up a storm. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2510 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG.
Our top story this week looks at auroras, something a lot of us have been doing or trying to do, especially if those brilliant shimmering light shows have been keeping us off the air. Scientists have just made a new discovery about what exactly makes them happen, and curiously, it's radio. Travis Lisk in 3 ILS has those details.
Scientists at the University of Southampton have confirmed what they consider to be an unmistakable cause and effect relationship between radio emissions and sudden auroral eruptions. The international team's findings, called unprecedented by the scientific community, have been published in the journal Nature Communications. The researchers speculate that this will alter the means by which space weather is forecast. According to published reports, the use of advanced ground-based observatories made it possible for the researchers to detect and identify signature patterns of low-frequency radio wave emissions in the magnetosphere that were immediately succeeded repeatedly by auroral explosions. This discovery provides a missing piece for physicists who, until now, were never certain of the immediate trigger behind the violent energy release that expresses itself as the northern and southern lights. This is Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
In India, One-Ham's annual on-air tribute to a 19th century innovator is, perhaps fittingly, also designed as an experiment this year. We have those details from Jason Daniels, VK2 LAW.
Jagadish Chandra Bose would probably approve of this year's tribute to him by data. VU2 DSI. Data is using the call sign Alpha Uniform 2 Juliet Charlie Bravo through to the 15th of December, honouring the scientist known in India and beyond as a pioneer in wireless communication. From both a commemorative and scientific standpoint, the timing could not be more appropriate. Data has activated this station every year for the past 19 years to coincide with the anniversary of Bose's birth date on the 30th of November, 1858. This year, the timing reflects the theory that Bose shared about electromagnetic radiation. In 1897 in London, he formally presented his theory to fellow scientists that the sun's electromagnetic radiation had a definite impact on communication via radio waves. During this activation, Data is measuring the global impact of solar radiation, flares and storms on HF propagation from India at this key point in solar cycle 25. Data will share the call sign with Pramod, VU2 XPN, a university professor of electronics. Details are available on the QRZ.com page of Alpha Uniform 2 Juliet Charlie Bravo. This is Jason Daniels, VK2 LAW.
In Germany, amateur radio may get an unintended boost following major restrictions that the nation's regulator has placed on the use of private mobile short-range handheld radios known as PMR 446. Jeremy Boot, G4N and JH, has the details.
PMR 446, the popular short-range UHF radios enjoyed in much of Europe, could be enjoyed much less in Germany this month after changes enacted by the regulator BNetzA. The regulator will prohibit operators from using any external antennas with their radios and from using the radios as base stations. PMR operators will also lose the ability to use their radios as repeaters or as internet gateways, two functions widely available to amateur radio operators. The PMR radios, which operate on 16 frequencies within the 446 MHz band, will only be permitted to be used for so-called peer-to-peer or person-to-person mode. Explaining these changes on his YouTube channel, Funkwelle, the German word for radio waves, Art Konzer, TL2ART, told viewers that he expected PMR operating to drop off, saying, quote, "The only alternative that remains is to get into amateur radio," end quote. He said that holders of the new N-Class entry-level license have the ability to use relays and internet gateways and can communicate worldwide. Art reminded viewers that these changes closely follow similar restrictions placed earlier this year on Freenet, Germany's license-free personal mobile two-way radio service. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A treasured friend and life member of the New Zealand Association of Radio Transmitters has become a silent key. We hear more about him from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
John Walker, ZL3IB, was a prominent editor and author of articles and publications devoted to amateur radio in New Zealand and beyond. He had served as acting editor of the Christchurch Amateur Radio Club newsletter Hamlarks, and 18 years as editor of Break-In, the official journal of the New Zealand Association of Radio Transmitters. John received his call sign in 1971. He became a silent key in Christchurch on the 2nd of November. When it came to amateur radio, John didn't just believe in operating, he believed in educating. A natural motivation for him because education was his career. He had been a professor of botany at the University of Canterbury in Christchurch. He was a founding trustee of the Radio Science Education Trust in 1998. The trust, which is part of NZART, supports persons wishing to advance their education in radio science. John was also the widely published author of dozens of technical articles and columns on amateur radio and equipment. He was made an honorary life member of NZART in 2014. John was 92, just 3 weeks shy of his 93rd birthday when he became a silent key. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
As Newsline went to production, we also learned of the death of Ganesh Subramaniam, VU2TS, an influential ham in Bangalore and beyond. Ganesh became a silent key on the 2nd of December, reportedly after a brief illness. In online posts on Facebook and websites, many remembered him as an enthusiastic CW operator who embraced the code from the very start. In an October 2019 interview on the QSO Today podcast, he spoke about his enthusiastic radio beginnings as a shortwave listener, culminating in taking his exam in 1960 at a time when amateur radio operators were few and far between in India. He said he did not receive his license, a Grade 1 license, until April of 1965 at the age of 29. He learned he had just become the 350th ham in India. Always active and enthusiastic, he became the founder and the net control operator of the Sherman R-Net and a life member of the Bangalore Amateur Radio Club. He was also an avid contester and had served for a time as editor of Ham Radio News, the Amateur Radio Society of India's magazine. Ganesh was 90. To hear Ganesh tell his story on the QSO Today podcast, visit QSOtoday.com and type in his name in the search bar. Students and their professors at Cornell University are hoping for smooth sailing for a project known as the Alpha CubeSat mission, but they're looking for ham radio assistance to help them track its progress. Their project has deployed what are known as light sail chipsats, small free-flying flight computers in low Earth orbit to transmit telemetry on 437.4 megahertz at 100 milliwatts of power using LoRa transceivers. The chipsats are mounted on a retro-reflective laser sail. The project, which relies only on solar power, was sent to the International Space Station aboard 1U CubeSats developed by students at the school's Space Systems Design Studio. The project website explains the short time window, saying, quote, "Between the sunlight only, low power, and short orbital lifetime, we need all the help we can get to collect telemetry from the sail and establish LEO to ground communications for this new generation of tiny spacecraft," end quote. For details on how to participate, follow the link in the text version of this week's Newsline report at arnewsline.org. You can also contact Joshua KD2WTQ at the email address jsu4@cornell.edu. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K2ADA repeater in Ocala, Florida, on Fridays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Registration is open for a European Space Agency education school project that asks teachers to challenge their students to create computer programs that will run successfully on board the International Space Station. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, brings us up to date.
Whether students are beginners or more advanced at coding, there's a place for them in the European AstroPi Challenge. The UK Space Agency and the European Space Agency are offering the challenge to students up to age 19 with different levels of coding competency. Beginners are invited to participate in the AstroPi Mission 0 by designing a piece of pixel art for display to astronauts aboard the ISS on a Raspberry Pi computers known as AstroPis. Students capable of handling more complex code, in this case programming in Python, are asked to be part of the mission Space Lab instead. Their challenge is to calculate the speed of the ISS by utilizing sensors or a camera with the AstroPi. Mission Zero's deadline is the 23rd of March 2026, and Mission Space Lab's deadline is the 16th of February 2026. Resources are being provided to the educators by the project. AstroPi's ambassador is ESA astronaut Sophie Adenot, KJ5LTN, who will be undertaking her first mission to the ISS in early 2026. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A milestone QSO party celebration is coming to an end for South African amateurs as we hear from John Williams, VK4JJW.
It's been quite a year for the South African Radio League, but not as big a year as 1925, the year that the league came into being. SARL, which launched its centenary marathon QSO party in January, is concluding it this month. At 23:59 UTC on the 31st of December, its participating call signs, most notably ZS100 SARL, will be going QRT. Contacts have been made since the first of the year on CW, phone, digital, and via satellites or repeaters. Contacts have been on HF, VHF, and UHF. Even shortwave listeners have been involved, accumulating points and applying for different levels of awards. Many of these modes did not even exist 100 years ago when the league formerly known as the South African Radio Relay League became a reality, thanks to the efforts of hams who decided amateur radio needed a unified voice to advocate for their interests. The marathon recognises the growth and reach that SARL has attained through the ensuing decades. Even if you're getting a late start in chasing the activators, there's still time. Visit mysarl.org.za for details. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
The Ham Radio Club in West Bengal, India, best known for its special skill in helping reunite family members who are lost, sometimes for years, has once again made use of its robust network on behalf of a woman who'd gone missing 2 decades ago. Jim Meachins at L2BHF brings us the details.
An older woman believed to have been begging on the streets of Bangladesh for survival for years, has reconnected with her family in India through the efforts of the West Bengal Radio Club, an organization with a speciality in missing persons cases. The woman's disappearance was traced to a religious pilgrimage she made nearly 20 years ago, an annual gathering near the Ganges River. With the volume of pilgrims at the event, known as the Ganga Sagar Mela, it is not uncommon for many attendees to get lost or to go missing. According to the club's secretary, Amrata Biswa, VU2JFA, the woman, who is now about 70 years of age and from a village in India, somehow joined a group of pilgrims from Bangladesh. That is how she is believed to have taken a detour to Bangladesh instead of returning home. News accounts said that she was soon living on the street begging. Recently, ham radio contacts in Bangladesh reached out to the West Bengal hams asking them to intervene after they questioned her and she uttered one of the few words she could, Sagar, the name of the district she came from in India. Using photographs of her and their wide network of contacts, the West Bengal hams finally reached her surviving family members. According to a report in the Australian Indian News, she has 2 surviving sons in Delhi. Her husband and 1 son have since died. Attempts at uniting her with her sons were underway as Newsline went to production. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
In the world of DX, Elvira IV3FSG is operating from Somaliland as 603T. The duration of her activation is not known. More details can be found on QRZ.com. Listen for the special event call sign HS25SG from the 1st through to the 30th of December to celebrate the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. This activation is part of the SatFinder educational campaign, which promotes space, satellite, and radio science to students and others by hosting amateur radio activities. Listen for Herald DL7MDX operating holiday style as 8Q7HT from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013 using FT8 on 40 through 6 meters. John NI6D will be on the air as CE7-NI6D along the Carretera Austral in northern Patagonia from the 6th through to the 18th of December. John will be using FT8 and FT4 on 40 through 10 meters using low power. Listen mainly during the afternoon and evening hours during his local time. For all these stations listed, please see QRZ.com for QSL details. Finally, we visit Australia, where there's a new look to an important weather website, but no one could have forecast the turbulent response it stirred up since it went live. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, gives us the details.
Each year, more than 2.6 billion pairs of eyes check in for guidance in Australia on the government's Bureau of Meteorology website. Lately, however, visitors to the BOM, as it's nicknamed, have been declaring the site's redesign a bomb. In a recent report carried by BBC News, users have weighed in publicly on the redo, calling it everything from counterintuitive to an outright disaster. The remake, which cost $96.5 million in Australian dollars, was the Bureau's response to a 2015 cybersecurity breach. A number of users became instant fans and praised the site for its cleaner front page. The Bureau has even provided guidelines designed to help visitors navigate the site. The BBC report said, however, the majority of vocal visitors to the site have been clamouring for the Bureau to roll it back to the old version or simply make it more user-friendly, with farmers in particular unable to find their locations relevant weather as they could previously. Worse for users is that the colour coding on the radar maps has changed. Many users are now putting the letters REG at the beginning of the URL, which then reverts them to the original site. My prediction is it's stormy weather ahead for the bomb, at least for the immediate future. I'm Graham Kemp, BK4BB.
Want to see what the fuss is all about? Visit the site yourself at the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. If you haven't sent in your ham radio haiku yet, what's been stopping you? Visit our website at arnewsline.org, and as you compose your ode to your favorite online activity, we will help you use the correct number of syllables to help make an authentic haiku. Submit your work and then sit back and wait to hear whether you are the winner of this week's challenge. The winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News Service, ARRL, Art Conzi, DL2ART, Australia Bureau of Meteorology, Australia India News, BBC, Venetza, Cornell University, Craig Crawford, ZL3TLB, Data, VU2DSI, David Behar, K7DB, The Daily Galaxy, 425DX Bulletin, Institute of Amateur Radio in Kerala, Madhu Mohan, VU2UWZ, QRZ.com, QSO Today, South African Radio League, shortwaveradio.de, Tech Central, Wireless Institute of Australia, Yasmi Foundation, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2 GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
The Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association hopes you enjoy the weekly broadcast of Amateur Radio Newsline, featuring our very own Stefan, N8WB, as part of the news team. And we thank you for listening. We invite you to stay tuned to the W8WKY repeater for our weekly Club Net, which will begin at 8 p.m. We'll have some announcements. We'll have a report from N8WB Stefan about the VE session we held this past Saturday. We'll have trivia from tonight's Quizmaster Gary, AA8CS, and we'll just have a good time on the net. We'll take in and out check-ins and then move on to regular check-ins who would like to answer the trivia question and make comments. So we've got a great net lined up for you. Stay tuned. In less than 10 minutes, the net will start, and I hope you will check in with us. This is KC8HDP standing by for the net at 8 p.m.
T-O-T-E-N-A. T-O-T-E-N-A.
What is that? NEWS.
The weekly Serenade, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly SARAnet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ. This is Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Weekly Club Net. We meet here every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the W8WKY repeater, which is located in Doylestown, Ohio, and operates on a frequency of 147 Mark 390 megahertz, and we use a PL tone of 114.8 hertz. This net is open to all licensed amateur radio operators. This is a directed net, so all traffic will be sent through net control. Emergency or priority traffic may break into this net at any time. Your net control operator for this session is Jerry. That's Juliet, Echo, Romeo, Romeo, Yankee. My personal call sign is Kilo, Charlie 8, Hotel, Delta, Papa. That's KC8. HDP, but during this net I will be doing business as Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee. I'll take a short break to reset the repeater and be back with the announcements. Okay, as everyone most probably knows, Sarah's annual Christmas extravaganza is this coming Thursday, December 11th, at the Wadsworth Eagles. It is by registration only, and that is closed. But the doors open at 6 o'clock, with dinner being served at 6:30. I will be there, and I hope to see you there as well. Okay. Going to call on N8WB Stefan to tell us about the VE session we had this past Saturday. Stefan, take it away. N8WB, Stefan, are you there to tell us about the VE session Saturday? Well, I guess not. So I'll read his post from the website then. Okay, it was a great morning at the Rittman Fire Department building on Saturday. Our first exam tool session took place. Our VE team consisted of W8GMF Gary, KC8HDP Jerry, KE8TQR Keith, and KA8LYJ Bob. Working at the registration table was KE8JNH Doug. And our assistance during the exam came from Stefan's ITS supervisor at Tri-C and the president of the Norris Club, W8LYO John Dolinar. John has been onboarding Sarah and several other clubs in our area to exam tools. We had 3 people who took the exam test, and they all passed with what they had studied for and tested. We had KE8 QMD Brian attenuants. He got his general. KN4ZMC Scott got his extra. And AA8CT Craig Forsell's grandson, Nathaniel, passed his technician test and will be receiving his call sign soon. Everything was uploaded to the RRL, and no scanning was done on our part for this session since 2021. All paperwork is downloaded by a single zip file. I'd like to thank again W8LYO John Dolinar for the great assistance that he gave to help move Sarah into a new era of testing. KE8JNH Douglas Hunter for always working at the registration table and getting us into the fire department building to test. And to our entire Sarah VE team who were at this session and assisted in the first exam tools session for Sarah. Thank you all. Merry Christmas and very Happy New Year to all. Our next test session is February 7th, 2026. A break.
W8WKY.
Are there any other stations with announcements for the net?
N8 LTR with a brief
Romeo
announcement.
Foxtrot, W8 HRF, Josh in Akron.
Okay, we had two there, and I caught Josh, W8HRF, and then we'll get to the other one. Josh, go ahead with your announcement.
W8WKY, W8HRF. Good evening, Jerry. Thank you for running the net and picking me up here. I just have a quick announcement for the club. A lot more details will come later, but pencil in Winter Field Day 2026 as an event for Sarah to be participating in. We will be participating with the Canton Amateur Radio Club, and we finally got a venue locked down, I believe it was last week. So we'll have a lot more details on that coming, but if you're interested, feel free to shoot me an email in participating or helping out with that. But plans are underway, and we'll have more details. And I'll get it posted to the website pretty soon here and get some emails out to the different committees. So that is what I have. Winterfield Day, Saturday, January 24th, and Sunday, January 25th, 2026 coming up. So back to you, Jerry. Appreciate it. W8WKY, W8HRF.
Thank you for that, Josh. Are you going to stick around for the net, or do you just want to be in and out?
I will stick around. W8HRF.
Okay, I have you in the log as a regular. Thank you, Josh. Okay, the other station, you doubled with Josh, and I did not catch your call sign. Go ahead with your announcement.
Yeah, this is N8 LTR, and I just want to remind the Sarah membership that the auction is open for Dick Wilson's K8 AM equipment, and it'll run through 6 p.m. this Saturday. So it's a phone auction, and the instructions were on the sheet and the materials that were distributed earlier electronically. So please help yourself and find a new Christmas present in there, and let us send some cash to Susan. N8 LTR, back to net control.
Well, thank you for the reminder of that, Bill. Are you sticking around for the net?
I am.
Very good, Bill. I have you as a login to the regular portion of the net. Okay, are there any other stations with announcements for the good of the net? Okay, nothing heard. So we'll start with a couple of rounds of in and out check-ins. So if you'd like to be an in and out check-in and just want your ticket punched, you can call now and use your call sign followed by your name.
Please check in KD8JNX Brooker in Rittman. I'll just be in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 VOX Scott, Vermilion, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Alpha Romeo Oscar, Allen, and Ashland, in and out.
Whiskey November 8, Sierra Charlie India, in Wayne County. I'll be in and out.
November 8, Whiskey Sugar, Bill is in London, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Tango Mike, Carry at Portage Lakes, in and out.
KE8, IME, David, Sterling, Ohio, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8,
Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLD, Rainy and Ribbon. Thanks for running that, Jerry. I'll be in and out. 73, and God bless everyone.
KM4 UVG. My name is Mason. I'm located in Elma, Georgia.
Okay, let me pick it up there. Okay, so far for in and outs, I have D8JNX Brooker, KE8VOX Scott, W8ARO Allen, WN8SCI Walter. Haven't heard from you from a long time, Walter. Good to hear you. N8WS Bill, W8CTM Carey, KE8IME David, KE8TLB Randy, and then the last station I got KN4 and I missed your suffix and name, so could you come back and repeat that, please?
Yes, it's Kilo Mike 4, Universe Victor Golf. My name is Mason, located in Elma, Georgia.
Okay, got you that time, Mason. Thank you for your check-in. Okay, do we have any other in and out check-ins? If so, check in now using your call sign followed by your name. Okay, nothing heard. So we will start the regular check-ins. Those of you who would like to answer Gary's trivia question and make comments, so when checking in, use your call sign followed by your name.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG. Nick, down the farm.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Tango Papa, KF8, DTP, Lori Maslin.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, KE8 UIB, John in Maslin.
This is November Tango 8 Delta NT8D, Dave and Copley.
November 8, Mike Whiskey Sierra, Pete, Jackson Township, Stark County.
KV8LJ, North Homestead.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Romeo, KE8 ZZR, Harry and Wadsworth.
Good evening, Kilo Echo 8, Echo Hotel Golf, KE8 EHG, Mike in Navarre.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, KE8 VZA, Eric in Strongsville.
Kilo 4, Oscar Golf, K4 OG, Martin Copley.
Well, KC8, Fox Queen Victor, Mark in Aurora, the Northern Lights.
W8WKY.
Kilo Delta 9, Delta Victor Bravo, KD9 DVB, Chuck in Salmon Lake.
Kilo 8, Papa Julie Whiskey, KAPJW, Philip in Twinsburg.
KF8 ELA, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Lima Alpha, Zach in Dalton.
Okay, I'll pick it up there and I'll go down the list I have. At the top of the list, we have KD8 SLG Nick, KF8 DTP Lori, KE8 UIB John, NT8D Dave, N8 MWS Pete, KB8 LJ Chuck, KE8 ZZR Harry, KE8 EHG Mike, KE8 VZA Eric, K4OG Mark, KC8 FQV also Mark, KD9 DVB Chuck, K8 PJW Philip, and KF8 ELA Zach. Did I miss anyone, or are there any other check-ins? Please check in with your call sign followed by your name.
This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-Ray, KE8 VQX, Joe in Akron.
We have added WO3X John and a KE8 VQX Joe. Okay, well, let's go up to tonight's Quizmaster with AA8CS. Good evening, Gary. Appreciate you doing trivia this evening. What is your puzzler for us this evening?
Good evening, Jerry. Good evening, Sarah and friends. We're going to have another trivia question tonight along the same lines that we did last week. I'm going to give you 4 quotes and associate each quote with the person who said it. However, one is incorrect. We have an incorrect pair, and your job tonight is to find the incorrect pair. There we go. And before I do that, I do want to just give a shout out to Josh, W8HRF, for spearheading the Winter Field Day initiative, and also to Bill, N8LTR, for really doing a fine business job with Dick, K8AMX's estate. We do appreciate both those guys for the efforts that they put in. All right, let me grab a quick second, and I'll give you the question. That was kind of a slow second, wasn't it? All right, find the incorrect pair. Alpha is, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Albert Einstein. Baker. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay. Charlie, we don't know 1/100th of 1% about anything. That would be Thomas Edison. And Delta, the opposite of a correct statement is a false statement. The opposite of a profound truth may well be another profound truth. Richard Feynman, or Feynman maybe, Feynman. And there you go. Back to net. This is AA8CS.
Well, thank you for another fine head scratcher, Gary. I am going to use NCO privilege and wait to answer that. Okay, so we are going to go to the top of the list, and first in this evening, we have W8HRF Josh. Good evening to you, Josh. Thanks for checking in with me this evening and for telling us about Winter Field Day. What are your comments for the net, and do you have an answer for Gary's puzzler?
W8WKY, W8HRF. Miss Lucy, who's working over here in the kitchen, asked if you would proxy her in Kilo Echo 8 Yankee Uniform Kilo, KE8YUK. And as for my answers to the trivium, I'm just going to choose Delta. I'm going to go with Delta. And a comment, I don't have too many other than, man, it was bitter cold when I went in to work this morning, and I never, like when I got out, and I turned on the car, and I looked at the thermometer, it said 30 degrees, and I don't know if I've ever thought, man, 30 degrees, it really warmed up, and like actually felt like it actually warmed up. So, that was this morning and this evening, and made a couple stops on the way home, and now at home, gonna wrap up the evening here and hit the sack. So, but enjoying tuning into the ClubNet, and looking forward to hearing what everybody's got to say, and looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of people at the Christmas party this Thursday. So, with that, I'll turn it back to you, sir. I already did the answer to the trivia. I'll say 7-3, W8WKY, W8HRF, 7-3 all.
Oh, very good, Josh. It did feel very cold this morning. And I do have your trivia answer as Delta. And before you go, would Lucy like to make some comments?
So considered. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Comments. Boy, oh boy, what a weird day. Oh, KEYUK. Sorry, everybody, if you didn't know who I was. I'm so mysterious and subtle on the radio. Usually with small voices who are also mysterious and subtle in the background. Anyway, I had a weird day today. I was planning on going out and getting stamps for Christmas cards and stopping in at the bank to open a bank account for Will for the, $2 that he has to his name. But anyway, we've been noticing some problems with our plumbing, which those who have stayed attuned to the Van Dyke Life, we had our sewer line replaced back in the spring. So that shouldn't be happening. So I had to call them in to make an appointment for tomorrow, but then I realized I was thinking of the wrong day, and I called them back to reschedule, and they said, okay, we'll send the guy out today. And I went, oh, okay. So I didn't make it anywhere. I stayed here. They found a problem they had to fix instead of just telling me that it was fine, and thankfully it was all covered under the lining warranty. Otherwise, I would be very angry right now. But after that, went to boxing and came back home, and it's been nice to be around the family and hang out and kind of figure out what we need to do next. So all good things. We'll see people at the Christmas party, and we'll catch down the log, KE8YUK to W8WKY, 73s, and God bless.
Well, thank goodness that was covered under warranty. Very good. And thank you for making comments. Do you have an answer to the trivia question?
Honestly, I didn't hear it, but Josh tells me to say Delta, and he's usually right in these kind of things. So I'm going to go with Delta myself. Back to you.
Well, thank you for checking in with me, Lucy. I do have your trivia question answer as D, and try to relax and enjoy the rest of your day, and see you both at the Christmas party. We're going to clear with W8HRF and KE8YUK, and that brings us to N8LTR Bill. Good to have you here, Bill. Thank you for your check-in. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is? And KD8SLG is on deck.
Well, good evening. Oh my, yeah. I'm getting rather discouraged. I'm one hand has the microphone, the other hand looking at the tablet with the weekend's weather forecast. Oh my, high winds and not busting 20 degrees. So wind chills are going to be double-digit negative, serious, and it's just not looking like any outdoor work is going to be done. I think Christmas lights this year are going to be nixed completely. They're not going to happen. Other than that, I decided with the upcoming next 10 days of on-off snow every day, slip slide, I slid on down to Sam's Club and picked up 450 pounds of cat litter, which I threw into the bed of the truck. And hopefully that'll anchor the tail end of that thing down and keep it a little more manageable than it currently is when I hit anything slippery. And other than that, just working the auction for Dick's Equipment as things come in. And like the note said, next Monday I'll start making phone calls to the people who were successful and set up some time to get the equipment in their hands. But yeah, got a full garage yet, so I got plenty to sell, folks. So yeah, please get your eyeballs on that and get out your wallets, and let's get it out of my garage. With that, I'll turn it back to Net Control, and we'll try D for my selection and at LTR.
Well, you're right. The weather doesn't sound good, and with wind gusts possibly up to 50 miles per hour, it will be rough on the Christmas decorations. And yeah, hopefully have a good turnout for the auction for this SK's estate there, and get some good stuff to Susan there. So very good. Thanks for joining us, Bill. And once again, I do have your trivia question to answer as Delta, and maybe we'll see you at the Christmas party. 7-3, Bill. Okay, we're going to clear with N8 LTR, and that brings us to KD8 SLG, just Nick down on the farm. Good evening, Nick. Thank you for checking in with me this evening. What do you have going on and for comments, and what is your trivia question answer? And Lori, KF8DTP, is on deck.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Jerry. All the Sarah Club netizens. What's going on? Oh, dude, I was out and about today. And I got to tell you, man, yeah, there's a reason why they call it going postal. I was in a couple of post offices. Thanks, Lucy, for reminding me about that. Still don't have any holiday stamps. There's that. What else? Oh, what else? Oh, I heard LTR there say he picked up 450 pounds of kitty litter. I was thinking he either has a really, really big cat. He's got like 37 of them. Like a cat lady. I was going to be that guy and ask Gary to reread the questions already, but I'm going with Charlie. So, Charlie's my answer. Looking forward to seeing everybody Thursday night. Sure to be a good time. KD8 SLG, back to Net Control. That's Jerry.
Well, maybe you'll be able to get some Christmas stamps here soon, holiday stamps. Yeah, sorry you had a frustrating experience at the post office. But anyway, I do have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and look forward to seeing you at the Christmas party Thursday. So we'll say 73 to you, Nick. We're going to clear with KD8 SLG, and that brings us to KF8DTP. Lori, good evening to you, Lori. Good to hear you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what else do you have for us? And John is on deck.
WAWKY. You know what? To be very honest, I really don't even remember what the question was or the answer, so I'm just guessing I'm going to take A for Alpha. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and give my in-laws answer, which is C, Charlie. So we'll see which one of us will get it right or wrong. Hi. You know, I've been a little busy beaver since I door tonight. As many have known, I'm now the secretary for the Ham Radio Club. So I'm trying to figure things out. So I've been busy working on that through my computer and getting dinner and doing dishes and trying to tend to 4 animals. So, yeah, it's been a crazy night. But with that, this is KF8DTP. I'll hand it back over to you. 7-3, y'all. Have a good evening.
Well, I hope you have a great evening too, Lori. I have your trivia question answer as Alpha and your in-laws as Charlie. So very good. Thank you once again for joining us, and I don't know, maybe we'll see. Congratulations on being secretary for the club too. Thank you for stepping up and doing that, and maybe we'll see you at the Christmas party Thursday. We're going to clear with KF8DTP, and before we go to John, KE8UIB, Stefan, N8WB, would like to join us and give his report on the VE session on Saturday. So we'll be right back to you, John, shortly. N8WB, Stefan, go ahead.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Good evening to the group. Hope everyone's doing good. Thanks, Jerry, for letting me get on here. My apologies for being mid-net. The VE session was great. We had a good group of people down there, and this was Sarah's first exam tool session. And I think it went pretty well. We had my friend John Dolan, our president of NORS, was on the other end helping us out. He was actually part of our first exam tool session. He helps run the exam tools over at the NORS VE team. It went very well. We had 3 people that came in. One of them, Craig Forsell's grandson, Nathaniel Forsell, got his tech license, and we had 2 other individuals. One got their general and extra. All that information I posted to a post on the w8wky.org. When you first log on to the page, you should see about the Sarah exam tools session going well. We had great VEs there too. I want to say thank you to everyone that was there, and all that information also is up on that page. But Jerry, I appreciate you letting me get in here. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great evening. I was just in the middle of a few things, so I have to jump off, but I'm going to jump back on a little bit later to listen to the end of it. But thanks, Jerry, and I'll hand it back to you. November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Back to net control. Thanks, Jerry.
Well, thank you for giving a report on the VE session and for being our team leader. And it was a pleasure to be part of the first digital session we had, and look forward to many more sessions. So look forward to seeing you at the Christmas party, Stefan. So we'll see you Thursday evening, 7-3, Stefan. We're going to clear with N8WB, Stefan, and go back to the list and pick up KE8UIB, John. Good evening, John. Good to have you here. Glad you and Lori were able to check in together there. What is your answer for the trivia question, and what else do you have for the net?
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Jerry, everybody out there in the net. Oh, let me start off with and get the trivia question out the way. I'm going to go with A, Alpha, and we'll just keep that simple tonight. All right, guys, let me start off by saying, you know, when it comes to the ham radio, I will happily say I'm a very, very proud member of 2 very great ham radio clubs, the Sarah Club and the Marks Club. And, you know, both clubs give a lot to the ham radio community. And I now have the opportunity to give back to the Marks Club, and I have been elected in as the new VP. And, you know, I hope that I can do a good job for them as all the leaders in both of these clubs that I idol so much, and the leadership that I idol. So, you know, this will be a new adventure for me. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of scared on it, but, you know, I hope to step up and hopefully be able to fill some pretty big shoes and bring a little bit to the table. And I hope it encourages other guys to step up for these clubs and give a little bit too, you know, because they truly are great clubs, and I'm happy to be able to do my part. And I just wanted to say that tonight, guys, and let me pause here real quick for a quick time. You know, public speaking is not my biggest forte. Hi. It's just something I might need to work on here. But, you know, you develop skills as you go, guys. And I got enough support in the ham radio community. I think the 5-hour dream can build these skills a nickel at a time if need be, guys. So with that, this is K8UIB. I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Net Control. And thank you for running the net, Jerry. You do a great job. 7-3, y'all.
Well, congratulations on becoming VP of the Maslin Club. When I first became a VP in Worcester for the Wayne Group, I was kind of nervous about it myself, but it really wasn't that bad. And I had good guidance from Eric, W80LM, and I'm sure you'll get good guidance there, and you'll fill those shoes just fine. And congratulations again. Thank you for stepping up. And great to hear from you, John. I do have your trivia question answer as Alpha, and maybe we'll see you at the Christmas party Thursday evening as well. 7-3, John. We're going to clear with KE8UIB, and that brings us to NT8D Dave. Good evening to you, Dave. Thank you for checking in with me this evening. Good to have you here. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what else do you have for the net? And Pete is on deck.
Good evening there, Jerry. Wow, it's been a long day. Ended up working on a 1940s era Baldwin piano. At the end of the day, somebody called me in the middle of the day. They were trying to get their piano tuned so their wife could decorate for Christmas. I'm glad I called them back because they would have, maybe would have gotten somebody else. So. Yeah, I got to put the money in the pocket. Just a reminder, come out and sing holiday Christmas carols with me on Christmas Eve day at the Hofbrock House, downtown Cleveland. 1 in the afternoon there. Let's see. Lori, I'm going to back you guys up with letter A for my guess for the trivia. It is a guess. John, congratulations on your vice presidency. And you get to do all the work, but you don't have to take any of the responsibility. You can lay that on your president. Gary, Richard Feynman is the correct pronunciation, and in my opinion, one of the most brilliant teachers of the 20th century. If you have not seen the Feynman lecture series on YouTube, take an afternoon and watch some of them. He's just amazing. Back to W8WKY. This is NT8D, Dave and Copley.
Well, you got to work on a classic Baldwin. That's good. The Baldwin company used to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and very proud manufacturer here in Ohio. So very good. And I do have your trivia question answer as Alpha, and look forward to seeing you Thursday evening at the Christmas party. 7-3, Dave. So we're going to clear with NT8D, and that brings us to N8MWS. Pete, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the net this evening. Do you have an answer to Gary's puzzler this evening, and what else do you have for us? And KB8LJ is on deck.
Hey, good evening, everybody on the net. November 8th, Mike Whiskey Sierra. Hope everybody's having a wonderful night tonight. My first question is, because the wife's sitting here next to me, is we would like Net Control to repeat the answers to the question. Can you do that first? Go ahead, N8MWS.
Well, I believe that can be arranged. Let's go back up to AA8CS Gary for a reread of the question. Gary, would you please reread the question for the net?
Absolutely. I don't think I read it twice in the first place, so my bad. And Dave, thanks for the pronunciation there. Do appreciate that as well. tonight you are charged with finding the incorrect pair that is matching the quote, the famous quote, with the correct person. You're looking for the incorrect match. And here are your distractors. Alpha, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Albert Einstein. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay, and that's choice Bravo, B. C, we don't know 1/1,000,000th of 1% about anything. Thomas Edison, and that is choice Charlie. And last but certainly not least, the opposite of a correct statement is a false statement. The opposite of a profound truth may well be another profound truth. And that is Richard Feynman, spelled Feynman. And there you have it. Back to net. This is AA8CF.
Okay, thank you for that reread, Gary. Appreciate that. So let's go back to N8MWS. Pete, what do you think the answer is? Oh, I think I doubled with you. Pete, what do you think the answer is?
Yeah, that's why it broke. I will pick A, Alpha. And other than that, traffic-wise, I'm Pete. I'm from Jackson Township. I'm the production director at the Nash Family Jackson Amphitheater. And I'd love to have anybody and all listening on this repeater to come out and see me for the 2026 season or beyond. It's a great facility. We're very ham radio oriented, and I'm working on trying to get the amphitheater to actually be a POTA activation with its own number. So I think I'm going to be able to get that because we definitely have the Jackson Bog as a POTA activation site, and I'd really like to have the amphitheater because it's essentially open to the public, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to get it activated because I'm going to operate there in the spring and have something set up. So other than that, I would wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is November 8th, Mike Whiskey Sierra, and we'll be QRT back to net control. 7-3s, everybody.
Well, it's good to have you on the net this evening, Pete, and I was not aware of that amphitheater, but I'll definitely take a look at it, look it up, and hope you do get it as a POTA activation site. And don't be a stranger. We'll be back here. We're here every week, so check in with us when you can, and use the repeater whenever you can as well. So thanks for joining us, Pete, and 7-3 to you. We're going to clear with N8MWS, and that brings us to KB8LJ Chuck. Good evening to you, Chuck. Good to have you as part of the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Gary's trivia question is, and what comments do you have for us? And KE8ZZR is on deck.
Okay, this is KB8LJ here. I think I will probably go with C, even though everybody else seemed to like D. And my thinking is Thomas Edison was such a jerk when you compare who he really was to his reputation of being a genius, because any guy who would have fired Nikola Tesla has got to be saying dumb things. So that's my answer there. And a couple other things I was thinking about. All the people that have been kind of razzing me on the air ever since I got active again about 4 years ago, not being on RF the way it should be. Well, I got to thinking about it, and by my definition of the way it should be is point-to-point simplex, and anything other than that, you're not doing it strictly the way it should be traditionally. So maybe if there's somebody at the Christmas party I can talk to on 5.2, I can say after 4 years of being active, I've been on RF the way it should be, and I'll go with that. And one other thing that I'm just kind of curious about, I've religiously taken the advice of WD8 SLG to not tinker with any of the settings on my clear node, and except for the one that allowed me to turn off the Wi-Fi and go with wired Ethernet, I haven't tampered with anything. And I'm curious about is recently the thing wanted to do an upgrade to the red node, and I have no idea what a red node is. And anyhow, I'll live with it till I can find out about it. KV8LJ, back to net.
Well, it's great to have you on the net this evening, Chuck, and I don't care what mode you use to get in here. I'm just glad to have you on the net. So no worries there, and maybe you went in digital, but you're still coming out over repeater on RF, so hey, you're still on RF, at least partially anyway. So anyway, great to have you here, Chuck, and don't be a stranger, and look forward to seeing you Thursday night at the Christmas party. I do have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and we'll say 73 to you, Chuck. We're going to clear with KB8LJ, and we're going to go to KE8 ZZR Harry. Good evening to you, Harry. Appreciate your check-in this evening. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for us?
Hey, WAWK, this is KE8 ZZR. Good evening, Jerry, and everybody else that's on the net. It was great seeing you today, Jerry, at the Worcester meeting, or Worcester lunch, I should say, and thanks for your help there. I appreciate it. Trivia question. I'm going to go with D. I know that's been a popular choice, but that's what I decided to go with right from the get-go, because I don't have a clue. So D Delta will be my answer. Like I said, we went out to Worcester today and had lunch with the Worcester group down at Arby's, and it's always nice to see people down there. I know Nick was trying to make it there, but he didn't make it, but thanks for trying, Nick, maybe next time. And from there, I came back and took advantage of the dry weather and went and got my truck washed, put it back in the garage, and we'll let it sit there for a couple days. So other than that, that's about it. So I'll turn it back to net control, and this is KE8 ZZR Clear, 73.
Well, it was nice seeing you at the Aries lunch this afternoon, Harry, and glad to help you out, and look forward to seeing you Thursday evening at the Christmas party. And I do have your trivia question answer as Delta, 73 to you, Harry. I'm going to clear with KE8 ZZR. Oh, and I forgot to say who was on deck. KE8 EHG, Mike. Good evening to you, Mike. Thanks for checking in with me this evening. Good to have you here. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for the net? And K8 VZA is on deck.
Good evening, Jerry. Good evening, everyone on the net. Last couple of days, been under the weather a little bit. Feeling good and going back to work tomorrow bright and early because of the weather. We'll just see what happens there. For the trivia question, I'm going to go with D Delta. I have no clue. Gary said that name wrong, Feynman first. So I'm thinking there's the tricky thing right there. So I don't know. So I'm just guessing. So, but Pete, N8MWS, I've been to the Jackson Amphitheater. Awesome. I'm telling you, they have a great show there. It's been great. I loved it. They had a Rush tribute band there. It was almost like close your eyes and it was Rush. And it was a lot cheaper too. So, but great facility. The sound sounds great. The lighting, I can't say anything more. But also too, his own band plays there, Wheels Up. I've seen them a few times, many times. Always puts on a great show. And the missus, his wife, does the mixing and everything. It always sounds great. So if you get a chance to see his band, Wheels Up, take the time and do it. And they're going to be playing next year also. You can check the schedule. But it's always a great time. So, all right, 7-3's all. If I don't talk to anybody, I've been just kind of busy here. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll be on here sooner or later, but with my schedule here, you never know. So 7-3's all, and we're waiting for the answer. Back to net.
Well, it's good to hear that you're starting to feel a little bit better, and hope you keep getting to feel better. And thank you for the info about the amphitheater, your review of the amphitheater. And the real rush is coming to Cleveland, was it in August? So something to look forward to. Anyway, good to have you here, Mike, and I do have your trivia question answer as Delta. And if I don't talk to you before then, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, but don't be a stranger. And like I say, we're here every Tuesday night, and there's other nets Wednesday night, Sunday night stuff, so look forward to hearing you on the air again soon. We're going to say 73 to you, Mike, and we're going to clear with KE8 EHG, and that brings us to KE8 VZA Eric. Good evening to you, Eric. Good to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for the net? And K4OG is on deck.
W8WKY in the net. This is KE8VZA here. I'm going to answer Charlie for the trivia, and I had a brainstorm while I was listening here because I actually couldn't write fast enough. So when Gary was trying to read it a second time, I used the voice recorder on my phone, and it gives me a written transcription of the recording, and it's pretty darn accurate. It's kind of scary. Anyway, so others out there may want to try it on the Tuesday night net or other nets as well. Anyway, the Norris 10-meter net tonight was kind of a bust for me. The noise level was too high, and net control was way on the far end of Avon Lake, so that didn't work for me. Christmas party, Norris had theirs this past Saturday. It was a nice party, good camaraderie, good food, and the grand prize was a Dr. Jack Compact Tenna, and we had some DXE gift certificates that we raffled off as well. What else? Looking forward to the Sarah party this Thursday, and some eyeball QSOs, and should be good. But other than that, things are good here, and we'll turn it back to you, Jerry. Thanks for running the net tonight. KE8VZA, back to net control.
Well, that sounds like a handy app to have. so I'm glad Gary reread it for you, and you got a better handle on the answers here. Good to have you here, Eric, and glad you had a good time at the other Christmas party. Look forward to seeing you at the Sarah party Thursday, and we'll see you there. I do have your trivia question and answer as Charlie, and we'll say 73 to you. KE8V. We're going to clear with KE8VZA, and that brings us to K4OG, and that is Mark. Good evening to you, Mark. Thanks for checking in with me this evening. Good to have you here. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for the net? And KC8FQV is on deck.
W8WKY, K4OG, KC8HDP. Good evening, Jerry and everyone. Well, Jerry, I first want to start out saying good job, Lucy, YUK, for taking care of the bottom end. I admire you for that. And for Chuck and the clear node, the red node was not too concerning to me. But when it told me I had lost my router password and to hold a torch over it, I was kind of concerned. And KE8VZA, brilliant, man. That's just brilliant. I got to try that. Because I couldn't get the name of the Bravo one written all the way down. I forgot. I was concentrating on the second read. But anyway, that doesn't matter. There was a whole lot of people smarter than me. I mean, like, everyone. And I'm going to go with the ones that said Delta, because I have no idea. K4OG, back to net.
Well, depending on what part of the world you're in English, a torch is a flashlight. So hopefully that's what they meant by a torch. Anyway, it's great to have you here on the net this evening, Mark, and look forward to seeing you Thursday night at the Christmas party. And I do have your trivia question answer as Delta. So we'll say 73 to you, Mark, and thanks again. We're going to clear with K4OG. And we're going to Northern Lights, Mark, KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. Good to have you as part of the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for the net? And KD9DVB Chuck is on deck. KC8FQV, Mark, are you there? Well, he must be on another net, so we'll try to remember to come back to Mark. So let's go to Cinnamon Lake now with KD9DVB. Chuck, good evening to you, Chuck. Thanks for checking in to the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net? And K8PJW Phillip is on deck.
Thank you, Net Control. This is KD9DVB, Chuck in Cinnamon Lake. I'm going to go with C, Charlie. My best guess, again, just a guess. Otherwise, radio-wise, I've decided that now is the time to get busy and learn CW, so I've been following that Morse Code Ninja session of videos on YouTube to work my way through it, making slow progress, getting better, and I've signed up for the CW Academy or CW Ops course starting next month, so hopefully by March I'll be able to get on the air and actually do some slow-speed CW with some people. And the only other thing is this Saturday morning, Bueller's in Ashland is the Ashland area ham club breakfast. So everybody's welcome, 8 o'clock at Bueller's. So with that, back to the control from KD9DVB.
Well, good to have you here, Chuck. Thank you for the invite to the Ashland Club breakfast. Let's see, what else let's see. I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, I do have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and good to have you here, Chuck, and hope to hear you on another net later in the week. We're going to clear with KD9DVB, and forgot to tell Philip he was on deck. K8PJW, Philip, you're up next. You're here. You're up now, let's put it that way. And good to have you here. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net? And KF8ELA Zach is on deck.
WAWKY, PJW, good evening, Jerry, and good evening to the netizens out there. Great to hear everyone. Yeah, you did announce me as on deck, so not to worry. But anyway, I'm going to fall in the D column, the Delta column as well. That seems to be where everyone else is going. And as Mark OG says, there are a lot of people on here that are a lot smarter than I am. So anyway, my impression with Red Node is that's the programming that they use to kind of combine all the technologies and do control data flow and that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking that that's the language that they wrote the software in that pulls all the different technologies together. And other than that, I'm still nursing my left shoulder. It's kind of real painful right now, and I'm just trying to find a comfortable position so I can sit okay. But hopefully everything goes well, and we'll see everyone at the Christmas extravaganza this Thursday. So if I don't show up, it's probably because we had some sort of obstacle we couldn't overcome. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Jerry. This is KPJW. Back to the net.
Well, thank you for the comments on the red node. I know nothing about it, but thank you for your experience with it, and hope you find a comfortable position. And yeah, I hope you will be able to make it to the Christmas party Thursday evening, and I look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully you'll be there. So good to have you here, Philip, and we'll say 73 to you. I do have your trivia question answer as Delta. So we're going to clear with K8 PJW, and that brings us to KF8 ELA Zach. Good evening to you, Zach. Thank you for being part of the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the puzzler is this evening, and what comments do you have for the net? And WO3X, John, is on deck.
W8WKY, this is KF8ELA. Good evening, everyone. It's good to hear everybody, and just enjoyed listening through so far. We've been working with Fusion 360 and doing some 3D modeling, and I think I'm on version 5 of my mounting bracket for the new radio, and I've just about got it. I actually test fit it in the car today, and well, it's pretty close. So a couple more revisions, I think I'll have it nailed down, and excited to get that new radio mounted in the car finally. But for trivia, we're going to be different and guess B Bravo. Let's see where that takes me. But that's all I've got for tonight, so I will send it back to you. This is KF8ELA.
Well, that radio will be a fine addition to your car, and I'm sure you're anxious to get it in there. And yeah, hopefully it only takes another try or two, and you'll have that bracket made. Good to have you part of the net this evening, Zach. And don't know if you're coming to the Christmas party or not, but hope to see you there. And I do have your trivia question answer as Bravo, and we'll say 73 to you. So we're going to clear with KF8ELA. And we're going to go to Cuyahoga Falls with WO3X John. Good evening to you, John. Good to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Gary's puzzler is, and what comments do you have for the net?
Good evening, Jerry, and all on the net. This is John, WO3X in Cuyahoga Falls. Doing pretty good here. I was outside today for a while, but the even though the temperature wasn't low, with that wind, it made it feel like the temperature was low. But I eventually got used to it and got myself warmed up. Let's see here. So let's see on the trivia question here. I don't have a clue, so I also am going to go with D Delta. so with that, this is WO3X back to the net.
Well, when I got to you and I seen the time, I wasn't sure if he was going to be here or on the watch, checking into the watch net real quick. And I know you have another net after that to go to. So anyway, good to have you here, and glad you were still around. And thanks for checking in with me. And I do have your trivia question answer as Delta. So thanks once again, John, and we'll say 7-3 to you. We're going to clear with WO3X, and that brings us to KE8VQX, Joe. Good evening to you, Joe. Thanks for sticking around and being part of the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and do you have any comments for the net?
W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor Quebec X-Ray. Good evening, Jerry and the net. Thanks for getting me in there. I guess I'll start off with the trivia. I'll continue my my record of choosing the wrong answer, or in this case, the wrong answer. I'm going to go with B as in Bravo. I've heard that quote before in the beginning of a book, or I read it in the beginning of a book on the history of ARPA, which then became DARPA. But of course, I didn't pay attention to who actually said it. So we'll just go with B. That'll be my answer. Just household stuff today and a little automotive stuff. Did a little bit of target shooting this evening, so that was kind of fun. That's about it. Won't make the Christmas party. I'll be working again, but I'll be thinking everybody while I'm away from town. So anyway, thanks again, Jerry, for getting me in there. This is KE8VQX, back to net control.
Well, sorry you can't make the Christmas party, but good to have you here on the net, and, well, maybe make it next year. I do have your trivia question and answer as Bravo, and thanks once again for checking in with me on the net. 7-3, Joe. We're going to clear with KE8VQX and see if Mark is back. KC8FQV. Mark, are you back with us on the net? What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net?
No, I never left. All I did is the body decided to turn itself off a couple of times. But I'm going to say Delta. I'll try that. And, we'll see some of the folks over there at the holiday party, Christmas party on Thursday. So, yeah, P-Cars did theirs last night. So, winding down. Well, but other than that, I see they're going to move the shoehorn on the west side of Akron, maybe. Actually, they're going to open up a little bit, 77 sometime soon, it looks like. Like they're going to move us over onto the new side of the wall. So, I've seen they got it striped now. They got barrels on the new side. So, other than that, not much are happening. Route 8, that's going to be a shoehorn for it a while. So, back it comes, Gary, KCFQV.
Well, I'll have to say that construction through Akron's quite the headache. I think it is anyway. And anyway, sorry your node shut off a couple of times there. But anyway, good to have you part of the net. Glad you're able to check in with us. And I do have your trivia question and answer as Delta, and maybe we'll see you at the Christmas party Thursday evening. So we're going to clear with KC8FQV, and that is the bottom of the list I have. This is the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association weekly Tuesday night club net. Meet here every Tuesday evening. Your net controller this evening is Jerry. That's Juliet Echo Romeo Romeo Yankee, and I am using the club call of Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee. And if you would like to check into the net, you can do so now with your call sign followed by your name.
Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8, LYJ, Bob in the Magic City.
Alpha 8, Charlie Tango, Craig Shreve. Good evening, Jerry.
Here is
recheck.
Here is Alpha Bravo 8 Mike Oscar AB8MO Mobile. I'm almost out of range, so I'm going to be in and out. Good evening, Jerry.
Please copy. November 7, Victor Alpha November, N7 VAN. Brian Mobile, I'll be in and out tonight. Jerry, 73.
Okay, we've added KA8LYJ Bob, AA8CT Craig, AB8MO Andy, who's almost out of string and want to be in and out. But thanks for checking in with me, Andy. Good to hear from you. And we also have N7VAN Brian, also mobile in and out. Thank you for your check-in as well. Well, let's go to, let's see, is there anybody else that wants to check in before we go back to the list? If so, use your call sign followed by your name.
N8WFK, buddy, in and out.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo, you can throw me at the back of the bus.
Okay, we've added N8WSK Buddy, and is that correct? Is your call sign correct?
Yeah, November 8, Whiskey Sierra Kilo, buddy, in and out. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Have you N8WSK, buddy, in and out. Okay, let's go to Bob, KA8LYJ. Bob, good to have you on the net this evening, and it was great working with you at the VE session on Saturday. Do you need the trivia question reread?
Good evening, Jerry. This is KA8LYJ. Good evening, Net. No, I caught the reread as I was heading back from the American Legion meeting tonight, where I accidentally volunteered to chair the America 250th soiree. Should have known better than to open my mouth. Oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, I have no idea, but my mindset was running along pretty much the identical track that RF Chuck's was, so I'm going to go with Charlie as well. Looking forward to the Christmas party. N8XKD has concocted a beautiful cheese ball to supplement the catering, so you're all welcome to enjoy that. With that, I'll turn it back to you. This is KA8LYJ.
Well, thank you for checking in with us this evening, Bob. Good to have you here. I do have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and looking forward to sampling that cheese ball. So, very good. We're going to clear with 73 to you, Bob. See you Thursday evening. We're going to clear with KA8LYJ, and that brings us to AA8CT Craig, my crosstown neighbor. Good evening to you, Craig. Thanks for joining us on the net. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what else do you have for the net?
I just want to make sure all the letters have been taken care of, and actually Nick is on the WatchNet chat and saying that you're on this net, so I mean it's a back and forth type deal. So yeah, that will be my my trivia answer will be Alpha, and yeah, I've got to go because they're calling me on the WatchNet. So with that, to all of the Sarah netizens out there, have a good evening, a safe evening, and have fun at the Christmas party. AA8CT, and I will be out.
Okay, Craig, thanks for joining us on the net, and look forward to seeing you Thursday evening at the Christmas party at 7-3. We're going to clear with AA8CT Craig, and we have a recheck now from N8WB Stefan. Stefan, take it away.
W8WKY.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Jerry, for letting me jump in here again. Appreciate it. Wasn't sure what that was. I heard that coming up, but I am I heard some of what people were talking about, so I'm just going to throw my lot with Charlie. And I mean the Charlie for the answer. Also, I actually slummed at the Norris Christmas party. When I say that, I mean that in a good way. So, and it was a great time, and I got to see John Dolinar, who I spoke of a little bit earlier, who helped us at the our exam tool session. He was there with his wife, and got to sit near him. And then also Doug a ham who got licensed with the club, my good friend Doug Smith, KF8 ESF, and he was there with a good friend of his who's also Ham Ron. So Doug got his license with us, his tech license in August at Rittman. So other than that, yeah, it's going to be a good Christmas party coming up this Thursday. Got a lot of stuff that we're going to have fun with. And Pray Terrell, I hear possibly there might be a magician there, but we're going to have to see if that's true or not. We'll figure that out. But, you know, if you have a cheese ball, that's magic in itself. So I'm going to send it back to you, Jerry. I appreciate letting me come in for a second time. Thank you to everyone. 73. And back to Net Control.
Well, thank you for your comments, Stefan, and I do have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and good to have you part of the net. So we'll see you at the Christmas party, and 7-3 to you. Well, let's send things back up to AA8CS. Gary, make any comments you have for the net, and then give us the explanation for the trivia question when you're ready. Oh, and I'll take Bravo. It has the fewest answers, so I'll take Bravo. So there you go. Okay, Gary, your comments, and then the answer to the trivia question.
All right. Good evening, Sarah and friends. Yeah, this is AA8CS. I do want to thank Ida for the cheese ball. I had no idea that was on its way, but that's fabulous, and we do appreciate that. I look forward to Thursday night. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time, and I too heard that we may have a little magic going on Thursday night, so we'll see how all of that works out. To the trivia question, the correct answer, a number of people got it right, is delta. Let's see. The quote is, the opposite of a correct statement is a false statement. The opposite of a profound truth may well be another profound truth. The distractor attributed that to Richard Feynman, but actually this quote was written by Niels Bohr, one of the principal architects of quantum theory. Bohr was famous for his paradoxical observations, something Feynman appreciated but didn't originate. Bohr used this idea to illustrate that in quantum mechanics, two statements may both be deeply true even while appearing contradictory. Let me grab a quick nickel. Yeah, that's not too bad as nickels go. Distractor A, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Albert Einstein did say that. That was central to his view of scientific curiosity and humility. And that quote originated in a 1955 interview. Distractor B, the best way to predict the future is to invent it, Alan Kay. And that also was a parallel. Kay did say that. He was a pioneering computer scientist expressing his belief that technology is shaped by those who have the courage to create it. And I love the comments about Thomas Edison. We don't know 1/1,000,000 of 1% of anything. Yeah, that's pretty much Thomas Edison. Typical of Edison's self-deprecating humor and acknowledgement of the vastness of scientific ignorance. Yeah. So there you have it. Hopefully you had fun with that. I certainly did. And do appreciate doing the net tonight, Jerry. Another fine business job. And thanks for allowing me to be part of it. This is AA8CS, back to Net Control. See you Thursday.
Well, thank you for being part of the net this evening, Gary, and thank you so much for doing trivia. It's something that I'm not good at coming up with questions, so I am so thankful that You take care of that, and you do a fine job with that, and much appreciated. And I want to thank everyone who checked into the net this evening, whether it was in and out or a regular. Enjoyed taking your check-ins and hearing your comments, and we wouldn't have a net without you, and you make it a wonderful net. So there we go. Look forward to seeing a lot of you Thursday evening, and it should be a great time. So with that, we will close the net down at 9:20. We had 35 check-ins plus net control for a total of 36 participants. So with that, for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association, this is Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP, returning the repeater to regular amateur use. 7-3 to all.
Great job, Jerry. November 8 Whiskey Bravo. You always do a great job, my friend.
Good job, Jerry. November 8 Mike Whiskey Sierra. 7:30, buddy.
Thank you, everybody. Great to hear everyone. 7-3, KC8 HDP.